first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. Thanks for joining us. We are live here at the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, and thanks for joining us. You know, we appreciate everybody who's with us here on this live stream, and what we're going to be doing, too, is continuing to be here this afternoon. If there's breaking news that happens, we will have that for you as well. But something we've been covering extensively, much like so many other people, and just paying attention to are the wildfires that have been taking place all over the Northwest, but really central and eastern Oregon, really just getting hit with them so much. Not only the fires, the smoke that goes with that, and everything else that happens around those things. And so what we're going to talk about right now is just what it's been like over there, particularly in Baker County. We've got Jason joining us right now, Emergency Management Director there for Baker County. And Jason, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of this show and being able to join us to talk about, you know, what's happening over there. And I think to start off, would you mind, just telling everybody your role there, if you don't mind, and just really what it's been like so far for this really horrible wildfire season out there?
Sure. I'm Jason Yencopal. I'm the Baker County Emergency Manager. I've been here for a fair number of years, a little over 20 years with the county now. And when wildfires go, all of us locally here jump into action. I'm working with the sheriff's office on evacuations, myself working a lot with the maps and making sure that information gets out to Raptor, the Oregon Raptor, and the Genesis platform, working with the PIOs, making sure they have the north of, south of, east of, west of type of stuff. So it makes sense to everybody there. And honestly, for me, July was pretty much a blur. Couple days of 24 hours plus just going in that local response, along with a lot of our local first responders as well.
Yeah, so much happening out there, and just, you know, I know we actually spoke back when we were talking about the snow drought, I think is what we were covering, you know, that aspect, and now we're seeing, I think, some of the fruition of that too. But when it comes to all of the different wildfires that are happening out in that area and just the smoke, have you had enough resources that have been brought out there to help fight these, or enough even people to handle all of these?
I think for what we had, the way our fire started pretty early in July, we were able to get a lot of those resources we need and hold on to them there. We were thin in some places at time due to that terrain. It was some of the times, I guess it was more of an air show than what we could do with ground resources, dozers, and even hand crews and engines type of stuff. We really needed some of that aerial stuff, which started kind of getting weaker as we transitioned from the salmon and olive fire, which were on the edge of the county, into the Powder River, into that foxfire. Later in that foxfire, it seems like our air resources got a little bit lean there.
Yeah, a little lean on some of those, but you know, looking at where we're at right now, do you have an estimate of acreage burned, and I guess, you know, how is it out there right now? You know, as you've been battling these, how are people holding up? You know, and just everything along those lines.
You know, for the most part, I would say a couple weeks ago, a lot of us, the first responders, were starting to get to that little end of we need a little bit of a break. And we did get that here recently with the storms that came through. They produced a lot of lightning, but we did get quite a bit of rain. We had a little flash flood event in the small community of Hereford, Oregon, out near Unity, where it got into the basement of some homes and that type of stuff with the amount of rainfall we were receiving at that time. And I would expect here some of those lightning holdovers from the trees that they struck. We'll probably see in the next few days, maybe some of those pop up, but hopefully our local crews will be able to jump on those and keep them small.
Okay, that's definitely good. How's the air quality been? A lot better.
With the rainstorm now and everything, it cleared up. We can actually see the mountains. Before, you know, they're almost about a month. It was hard to tell. You could barely see the outline of the hills, but now you can full on see the mountains for sure.
That's good. Well, good. That's definitely great, you know, to hear that. And I'm glad that rain came through, as you mentioned, some lightning strikes, but hopefully that's not going to amount to too many. What do you think is the most important thing just that the general public should know about, you know, Baker County and just Eastern Oregon? And I know this is a time of year too when there's probably a lot of tourism that goes on, or people making their trips out there. And I'm sure this has affected that. But yeah, what should people know?
A couple things before I forget. The drought stuff that you mentioned earlier that we talked about a while ago. I just want to put out to people, if you have an observation, be sure to type in like U.S. Drought Monitor into your search, and then you'll scroll down a little ways on that page, and there's a reddish orange section, and it says, how is drought affecting you? And you click on that link, and it'll take you to another page where you can fill in a survey 123 form, and that really does help how that drought monitor map is done. They take that information, they update that. I know there's some wells out here that have gone dry that haven't for hundreds of years, and those type of things. So I'd encourage people to help formulate that drought monitor so it's more accurate there. But as far as those coming to recreate and being within Baker County, with the very minimal amount of winter precip that we've got, I'd say pretty much the entire county should be in a level green right now. We're that dry. Even with the recent rains that we got, we are still, you need to be ready at all times right now. I think we should almost buy a fire extinguisher for everybody in the public, and that way they have them right there on their hip to be able to be that first responder and keep that thing small. We do a pretty good job of trying to get to everybody for evacuation notices. The sheriff's office, along with the search and rescue members, are amazing at getting out there when that time to go happens, or right before that, to have you get as ready as possible to go. But sometimes, if that event happens right next to you, we wouldn't have that time to get there. But like I said, we've been lucky with where these fires have been to do that. So as you're recreating, make sure your head is on that swivel. Are you noticing, this cloud that is turning from a whitish color to a dark color? It may be time to hike out of wherever you are and get in your vehicle and get more information, get to a safer location, that type of stuff. You don't always have to wait for us to tell you to leave either. If you're not feeling comfortable, or it maybe takes you more time, please. We would like you to see you evacuate safely in a controlled manner versus being erratic and those type of things.
Yeah, I think that's such a good idea, that you just consider yourself in a level 1 at all times. And I mean, that's in so many places too around the state right now. We even spoke to somebody who was near Sisters, and they were kind of saying the same thing. Like, just consider it level 1. Always. Yep. And then go from there. Well, Jason, thank you very much, for joining us, and for talking about this too, and just getting this information out there so people know what's happening and how everybody's holding up out there, and hopefully, some more precipitation here before too long to help quell anything else that's out there, and that you get all those resources that you need. So thanks, Jason. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely. And for everybody watching, this is Fox 12 Now. We're live streaming here out of the newsroom. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be here throughout the afternoon and covering a wide range of topics, including breaking news should that occur. So we'll take this break. We'll be back here in just a couple minutes.